Here we are. We're back. We're at, where are we? At our Unfiltered Kitchen. Why do we call it Unfiltered? Because we have great conversation, cocktails, and cooking. I've got my guest here, Mr. Zach, and I've got my baby girl here,
Cheyenne.
and we're here to chop it up a little bit for you. We've had our cocktails. We made lemon drops today.
Yep.
We made Long Island's today, and then we made my drink.
Unfiltered Long Island's.
An unfiltered slow-mo.
Literally unfiltered Long Island's. And we made the martinis.
And we made the martinis.
And we
the
But those
gin.
are gone.
We did thumbs down to the gin martini.
Yeah.
We did thumbs up to the dirty vodka martini.
Extra dirty.
Extra dirty vodka
Yes.
martini. Okay, so we don't want you to get the impression that we are drinking all this. I'm gonna take a little pressure off of Zach and say this was the Long Island.
That was like the original one.
We just
classic-
leaving it up
yeah.
here.
Classic
Shaw
Long
is
Island.
not drinking all 3 lemon drops.
No.
Right. Wait, this is kind of just for decor.
It's because we made all 3 and I don't feel like we should just dump them. I'm not gonna drink them all right now, but I'm just saying like they should just at least sit here.
And look here.
Yeah.
And she just smiles.
Yeah.
right?
That's kind of, well, you know.
I'm trying to time my top.
See, that's subtle. That's subliminal advertising. That's sex sales. That's
Oh
subtle.
my god.
They should
I
just
feel.
sit
Here
here.
we
What are you
go.
talking about? You want them sitting or the
Right,
drink
right.
sitting?
Whatever, y'all. Okay, so
Okay.
should we cheers and then get into our topic for today?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's get it. It's been a good day. It's been a good
Cheers.
day.
Let's have a good.
And you know what? It's really been
Unfiltered
nice.
chat.
Unfiltered. Which means no judgment. You don't have to necessarily agree with everything that we say. All we ask is that you listen. You can be very opinionated yourself. You're welcome to hit us back with comments. We're not looking for anything nasty. We're looking for stuff constructive. But again, it's unfiltered, so you don't have to agree. I don't agree with everything she says. I don't agree with everything that he says. But we talk about it and we hear each other, and then we go from there. You can incorporate if you like it. If you don't like it, put it to the side. Stay where you are. No problem. We don't have a problem with you having your opinion.
Yeah.
Okay? So
today's topic is about to be about fatherhood. And I feel like when you say fatherhood, that's so broad and covers so many different things. So now that I have 2 dads sitting in front of me, I've been thinking about how am I gonna start the conversation off with them? How are we gonna get into it? So I guess my question to you guys is, you being a new father, you being I was gonna say old,
Damn,
you being a seasoned father, Zach, I'll start with dad. Now that you're a seasoned father, that you look back on and you're like, I could have done that different.
So, as a father, I hit it out the park! Home run! Grand slam!
Very
Third run! And your 7th inning
The
stretch.
crowd goes wild.
The crowd goes wild.
You did a good job.
Thank you.
You did a great job.
Hey, you know what? There's some things that I go back and I look at that maybe I would have done different, but they're such trivial things, and they're all after the fact. Just like, with my oldest child, Kyle, we put her in what we thought was the best school for her. Academically, it was one of the top schools in the nation, but socially, it wasn't the right environment for her. But I still look at it, so to some points, we got that wrong, but we didn't know. We were young, we were trying to do the best that we could. Because my thing was this, when I went to college, when I went to SC, I compared myself to some of the guys that I was doing room and board with, and the amount of knowledge that they had and how to maneuver through the system, not maneuver through the system, how to matriculate verbs and congregate, what's the word? Matriculate verbs and know the difference between a noun and a pronoun, and I'm like, shit, they didn't teach me that shit in public school. Just the way they could research things.
Yeah.
The private school foundation was stronger than mine, but maybe it's because I was partial class clown too. So.
Now the truth comes out.
Yeah. I don't want to knock public schools.
So you think you would have, in hindsight, do you feel like you would have picked a different school for Kyle?
Well, in hindsight, yes, but hindsight is easy.
Yeah, but that's the question.
Well, but when you're in the moment, you do the best that you can do.
Right, but you're
You know.
avoiding the question.
Okay.
The question is, what is something as a
She
father?
heard my answer.
I heard your answer. You hit it out the
That's right.
park. You
That's
got it. You got a home run. But there has to be something that you're like, damn, I could have did this. Or damn, I should have handled this situation this way. Nothing?
Yeah, the only thing, and this is personal.
Yeah, this is unfiltered. We're trying to get personal.
Well, personal, but I don't think I would change it because there's times I missed you guys growing up.
Well, then that's an answer.
And I get joy in seeing Boz and Ryder and doing their thing at their age. Because when you guys were at that age, I was grinding. I was working every day trying to make it happen. Trying to put bacon on the table and all that.
You feel like you didn't really see us grow up?
No, I saw you because we were in a household every day, each and every day. It wasn't like I'm gone for 2 weeks. I'm gone for 8 hours.
Yeah.
But sometimes those 8 hours were on the weekends where you guys had free time because when you're in school.
Yeah.
I mean, we sat up there and we had dinner every night together. So it's not like I don't regret anything. Like I said, shit, better up, man. Here out the park.
Oh, I guess that was just a bad question.
Yeah, no, that's a great question.
It was a great question. But if I can touch on it, I would say that, the whole private school situation. Before, me and Shot, we talked about private schools, and I wasn't against it. But I did want, Ace or son or daughter, whatever we were going to have, to go to a public school. And I don't know if that's because I went to a public school, but now that I look back on it, it's almost like maybe a public school wasn't right for me. I mean, I had fun at it, I did good, but I felt like if I did go to a private school, I could have done way better. I mean, there's so much more that's put on you, and you're just, the attention that the teachers have on you, everything's different.
So when Zach and I were talking about having another child, talking about growing our family, we felt like there were certain conversations that we needed to have and then have and have again and then have again. And certain topics that needed to be covered before you bring life into the world, because we didn't want to have a baby and then be looking at each other and I'm trying to go to church on Sunday and he's like, I'm atheist.
No, we
touched on everything.
Every topic there was.
And school was one of the topics that we didn't necessarily agree on. I wanted the kids to go to private school and he wanted the kids to go to public school. And I grew up going to private school, he grew up going to public school, and I'm never gonna knock either one. Either one is right. Wherever you go, you can make it work. I do believe that. Yeah. But I do think that for myself, I really thrived in private school because I feel like my brain works a little different. And I feel like the smaller classrooms really helped me. Mm-hmm. I feel like the extra programs and curricular activities and those things really helped. And the one-on-one time with the teacher really helped. And
the extra things that you pay for in private school.
Yeah, just the environment really helped me a lot. And I'm trying to get Zach to understand that, but from an outside perspective, it was just a little harder. So what I banked on was when we were going to visit the school that we were trying to get Ryder into, and this is one of these top schools, extra grand of a school. And
it's like getting into Howard or
it's like Harvard.
It's like getting into Harvard. It's like getting into Ivy League.
Yes, and I just kept thinking, okay, I'm gonna take Zach. Well, Zach's gonna come with me to this parent interview, and this can go hit or miss. He can either be like, this is dope, and I want Ace to go here, or he could be like, this is bullshit.
Yeah, a waste of money and bullshit.
And I remember I had a lot of anxiety because I remember the first time Corey and I went to a parent interview for Ryder, and it was kind of the same thing. Even though Corey grew up going to private school, the financial
difference between public or private
in Michigan and private in LA is just night and day. So I'm thinking, and if you know Corey, he's very money conscious, but when it comes to his kids, he's not. So I'm like, all right, this is my time to slide in a big check. And he went and he was like, no, this is what I want for my child. So I'm thinking, all right, I prayed on it with Zach, and I'm like, I had anxiety with Corey and it was fine. I have anxiety with Zach. Let's just see how it's gonna go. But if y'all know Zach, he's stubborn.
They Barry Bonds my ass. They hit it off the ballpark.
Did they?
We left the school.
They got me.
And Zach was like, no, I want Ace to go here. Like,
because this
is what I want for my child.
They have everything. I mean, they laid it down like, on diversity. They told us how they have students from not only every city, every state, zip code, different countries. Like, they have a whole range. They say,
diversity? Oh, yeah.
They didn't want to be, they don't want to be considered a rich kid school. They want to be an all around, with everybody.
We pull from everything. And I remember when we did our first tour, when we were walking around, and I said, how's the diversity? And she basically not challenged my question, but she said, look around the classrooms. Like, I don't need to explain it to you. You can look with your own eyes and see our classrooms are diverse. And then after you just get the broad look, our classrooms are also diverse in socioeconomics and where they actually come from, who's a foreign exchange student. Like, she was just listing these things off. I'm sitting there like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, it changed my whole perspective on
The athletic program is great. I mean, I want Ace to, play the piano, but if he happens to play basketball, he's in a great program.
Piano.
She want a little John Legend.
Ain't nothing wrong with piano.
Hey, if you want to play piano, you gonna play the hell out of some piano, but
I'm just saying the school's a really good school.
I want him to swing that baseball.
But that was one of our things when it came to parenting and fatherhood and stuff.
No, it was big. That was
thorn.
one of the main. I mean, we talked about everything, but when it came down to public versus private,
it was an argument.
So one thing I want to kind of extrapolate from what you guys were saying for the young parents that are out there, and I know a lot of your followers are young parents. I don't mean young as in teens, but
like young parents.
What they did is what's an ideal situation in relationships, and that's talking it through. Talking about things that have not come up yet, like what kind of education, what kind of religion, what kind of financial, where are we? What are we doing? What are we doing together?
What are we gonna do to fight for each other? As far as if we get into this situation, I cheat on you, you cheat on me. Are you gonna go to battle to keep us, in a relationship?
Yeah, have those conversations.
You have to. You gotta have.
They might be a little bit uncomfortable, and you might initially hear some stuff that you don't want to hear. But here, bottom line is this: if you love that motherfucker, you will find a way to stay with him, whether it's a guy or a girl, because mistakes do happen.
Unconditional.
It's conditional. Everything is conditional. It's when the conditions go so far off course that you can't stand it anymore. And that's what they did. They defined their conditions.
Yeah.
Even with their child, they said, how do we want this to roll out?
Yeah.
Which is a great conversation. I'm glad to see you guys have conversations like that. Okay. Now I'm saying this one thing to the listening public out there. In terms of private schools, I don't want you guys to, all those that are trying to grow their families, okay? There's absolutely nothing wrong with public school. I know some cats, great cats, VPs, presidents, business owners,
all went to public school.
Big money, big, second homes, boats, vacations to the French Riviera, all this big stuff, public school.
And probably didn't even go to college either.
No, the guys I'm talking about went to college.
Yeah, all my people who have money right now, I'm like, where'd you go to school? They're like, we didn't. I'm like,
my thing with college, everybody I know that went to college,
God.
they don't use that degree towards nothing that they're doing now. They just have
I use my degree.
You do. You're one of the few.
Thank you.
One of the few.
And the guys that I'm talking about, they use their degree. But they were public school from the public school entity, but did very well without the private school. And here's the difference. The way I see it is, private school gives you more ammunition. It exposes you to different things.
Yeah.
Okay. Where public school gives you a better sense or a better dose of what the real world is.
It's two different situations.
Yeah, because you have the halves,
but you can pull.
You have the middles, and you have don't have so much.
You can pull the ammo out of public school, but you gotta want it too. That's the thing.
And that's the thing. And that's what I'm saying. If you
I feel
want
like
it,
you
you're
still
gonna
have
make it.
to want it in private school.
No,
Yes, you do.
I think you can get by.
I think you're in more of a setting to where it's like, okay, I see my other peers around me going at it. I'm not gonna be
private school puts you in a better position to win, only because you're being exposed to more winners.
Yeah.
I feel like they won't let you fail as easy.
No,
not even the teachers. Like if the classrooms are smaller, because everything's more.
Yeah.
But
I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry. I think this is important too. And again, for the listening audience, if you have the desire to get your child into a private school, don't let anything stop you. Don't let something as simple as neophyte as finances stop you. Because when I put her and her older sister in private school, I could not afford it. Not at all. Not at all. But I took their ass, and I took my wife and myself, and we applied. We interviewed. And they said, you know what? We like you.
That's another
We're
thing.
gonna make it happen
Private
for you.
school is another thing. Is it doesn't only cater to the children. You're in a better position to network.
Yeah.
You got all the parent things that you go to, and you get to meet all these other doctors, whatever it is that they're doing, you can network in.
Yeah.
This is true.
You can make, you can create a business out of that.
But I did want to say that we had this conversation on Think Loud Crew on the podcast as far as private and public, and one of the things that I brought up, or that we all brought up, was that private and public is different everywhere you live. And in LA, this is us talking about it from our standpoint. Right. But there's some places back east where public is way better than the private schools, or in the Midwest. So don't take our conversation like surface level. You know, understand we're talking about it from our own experiences here. We're not knocking anybody's systems at all. But this is just our stance on it, coming from where we're at and how we grew up, really. Yeah. But I'm happy with the talks that we had prior to having Ace, and now seeing them kind of play out. It's kind of cool sometimes. It's like,
that's why you have the talks. Now it's
I can't wait till Grandparents' Day. Being there.
He said Grandparents' Day. Is that what they got at private school?
They have they have a grandparent PTA.
Oh, do they really? You better hop in there. Shy, like I'm a part of the. I'm getting about to be PTA.
I'm gonna be in there with.
I'm already.
Shy was at writer school already serving. What was it? Cookies and all types.
I did cookies and fruit kebabs.
I'm coming to the PTA with a flask. I'm gonna let y'all know right off the jump.
This man finna have his mojito in that flask.
I want everybody to be real with me.
Dad, you can't do that.
Yes, I can, because these are grandparents. These are grandparents.
Just because you're a grandparent doesn't mean you can bring a class to the PTA meeting.
That's because I want everybody to get loose and be real.
You're gonna get all the grandpas drunk.
That's right. We're gonna have a great time though. Look, we'll probably end up going on a skiing exposition or something.
All right, whatever.
Go Aspen.
While we're talking about fatherhood, before we end this episode, I want to know what is your favorite thing about being a father, and what's your favorite thing about being a father? Who wants to go first, the new or the seasoned?
I'll go first. I'm trying to think on it because it's a lot.
It's all right. I'll drink while you're thinking.
All right.
You ain't got too much.
Yeah, I'll give you a little more to think. I'll give you a little more to think about.
All right.
Favorite thing I like at this point is because my kids are no longer little kids. You know, when they're still little kids, you still have to wait. You're still in the waiting game. How's this little rugrat gonna turn out? You know, if it's a guy, is he gonna be successful? He's gonna have a job. He's gonna have a family. You know, if you got a daughter, you know, how's she gonna turn out? Is she gonna be a little ratchet hoodwink? Or is she gonna be sophisticated and carry herself well and live by the foundation in which she was built? You know, and so my favorite thing now is just looking at my kids and saying, you know what? It's like when you first asked me, you know what, hit it out the park? I can only hit it out the park because of the way you and your sister conduct yourself. That's it. I don't get to hit out the park because anything I did. I get to hit out the park because of the way you guys turned out. And you guys are doing your thing. And that's satisfaction. Okay? And this is how I know this. I'm gonna roll back some years before you guys were born to my mom's generation. When my mom came up, she came up with about 5 or 6 girlfriends. They all knew each other from about 15, 16, 17. They all had kids about the same age. Okay? So all the foundation was very similar. They were all hard-working, young African-American ladies. Okay? The kids are all in different directions. Some of them are doctors. Some of them are drug addicts. Some of them work 9 to 5s. Some of them are business people. The foundation was the same, but it was up to the child, which direction the child chose or veered. And sometimes it's not even a choice. You just get lost in that channel. Okay? So even though as a parent you can do your best, but it's still a crapshoot. You give them the best foundation you can. It's still a crapshoot because they may end up way off to the left. Or you may be a crapshoot, low life, mother, father, drug addict, but your kids end up winners.
Yeah.
Big. So it's all a crapshoot as a parent. You do the best you can, or you don't do anything as a parent. It's still, a good portion of it is still on the child, how they come out.
Yeah.
So when I say I'm proud of the way you guys have come out, and I'm good, that's what I'm talking about. It has nothing to do with me. I did my best, which I'm gonna do. But even if I was a crazy ass parent, you guys still did well, and that's part of the formula.
right.
Well,
Yeah.
shoot, Zach, how do you follow up with that?
Well, look, I'll say that to the parents that are out there, because I've talked to a couple of parents where their kids are veering off in different directions that they don't approve of. And I understand that and I feel for you. But that's not your deal. You do the best you can. You give them a foundation. Where they go from there, you can't be accountable for. Mm-hmm. In the big picture, you are accountable for your life. Yeah. Okay? And they are accountable for theirs. Now, if you guys were just like this, I'm gonna tell you this time when I wasn't doing well, and my mom came knocking on my door, and I couldn't even answer the door. Where I was not her fault. It wasn't her deal. Okay, it was my deal. It was the choices that I made put me in that rut. Yeah. Not her. So you parents out there, where your kids may not be doing as well as you want them, don't beat yourself up. Go on vacation, because you've done what you can do. They'll come out of it, or they won't. Either way, keep on living what you live. Live your life. So if my kids were rat bastards, I'd be like, I'm gonna tell you something. After all I put into you guys, I'm gonna tell you, my real attitude was, I'd be sad, but I'd be like, you know. And again, I don't really cuss, but I just want you to understand my expression. Yeah. After all I've tried, I've tried hard to make you guys have a good life and be right. But if you guys were wrong, I'd be like, fuck them. And I don't mean I forget about them, but I gotta let them do what they do. Yeah. And I got to go on and have my good time and have life. Let's go. I've done the best. And believe me, when I fought for you guys. I've holes in the shoes, raggedy ass cars, so that you guys can have all you have.
I know those raggedy ass cars.
So that you guys can have all you have. Now, if for whatever reason, and I'm so glad, and that's part of why I'm happy and proud, is that you guys didn't just throw it away. Mm-hmm. Okay, as you didn't with your parents, didn't just throw it away. That you are making something of it.
Yeah.
It just makes a parent happy.
Yeah.
But if it was the opposite way, I'd be like.
Especially I remember when I went to college and my parents sat me down and basically explained we're gonna send you to the college of your choice / the only college I got into, and
but you made it happen.
But I got in. You said all we need is one.
All I had was one.
All we need is one.
All I had was one.
And I went to Hampton, and my parents said, we're gonna pay for you to go to school so that you don't have student loans. But we're gonna do our part the best we can. Now we need to do your part the best you can.
That's right.
And every year I was so proud to come home and say that I made Dean's List, and y'all know I'm a little slow, so it was extra cool. But my mom, when I got done, when I graduated school, she was like, that's all we wanted. Mm-hmm. It would have been a slap in the face for us to be putting all our money towards you to get a good education and to not be financially burdened after school, and you come home and you blew it off. Yeah. You didn't handle your business. But that goes to show that when you're by yourself, because in college I was by myself, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That was my time to figure out which way I was going to go. Yeah. So I get what you're saying. Yeah. But I do think that you guys should give yourselves a lot of credit.
Yeah.
To answer your question, I'm going to touch up on his a little bit. Every day is my favorite. Seeing the growth in Ace, right to every day is literally, like last night, Ace was growing a top tooth now. So it's this is one of my favorite days. I woke up this morning. I didn't wake up, I was asleep, and I woke up to hearing the door banging, and Ace climbed off the bed. Shy was back in the room right. He made his way down. He's slamming the door trying to get out. That's one of my favorite times. Another thing is, it's not even when it comes to just the kids, is seeing my growth growing up and maturing, watching my dad the way he fathered me, and now being able to take on the same thing he did. Mm-hmm. It's I like this. I always wanted a child. I always wanted to be in a father position, and now it's just a blessing to be there. But I love every moment of it.
But to be good at it.
To be good at it too. It's a great feeling. Because
everybody can be a dad.
You can be a dad, but what are you doing to be a dad? Are you going to the extent? And another thing is, it's the hard days, the days where I'm pissed off. Those days is my favorite too, because it's me showing myself, okay, you can overcome this, you can go through it. You can go through the nonsense, you can go through being pissed off, but at the end of the day, you're doing it for a reason. Your kid. I'd be mad as hell when I gotta wake up at 5:30 in the morning and he crying, but that's fatherhood. Those are the days that you're gonna look back on wishing that you can go through again.
Those were the days you would look back and you'd be proud of yourself.
Yeah.
For enduring. For being there.
No, it makes me feel good. I mean, I'd be mad. Like I was mad this morning at 5:30. I text Shy like help. No, it was 5:30.
Oh, you was in the other room.
She was in the other room. He was up just going. I woke up to Ace on me like this. I'm like, what? And he wouldn't go back to sleep, but I mean, shit.
Well,
that's the stuff
you guys
I
don't
remember.
understand Ace yet. See, cause there's been a few times where I've had Ace, whatever, they've been out of town, whatever. When Ace gets up at 5 o'clock in the morning, let me tell you what I do to him, cause he was twin. Headlock. Come here.
I swear I did that to him.
Go to sleep, little baby.
I was face to face with him this morning.
Settle your little ass down.
Literally, calm
In the
down.
bottle.
Calm down.
Oh my God.
I did the same thing. I didn't put him in a headlock, but we was face to face. I gave him the bottle. I was go to sleep, son.
I headlock. I'd be like, you go ahead.
It's
Man.
so cool to see Zach as a dad, like really as a dad. Like he played such a father role in Ryder's life from the very
I'm hard
beginning.
on Ryder.
But
That's the only way I
now
can see it.
to see him with Ace, it's like very full circle for us, and it's very, very cool to see. And him with Ryder, I mean, it's a blessing also, and their relationship is hilarious. I always sit back and watch, and they look right now because Ryder's into makeup and dressing up, and
I'm gonna be
the
hard
music
on
selection
I love
changed.
Ryder just as much as I love Ace.
Zach is
I'm
like,
gonna be hard
no,
on
no,
both.
no,
I'm
no,
on
no.
both of their asses. I'm sorry. Ryder, I want to put on makeup today. Shy. No.
Zach,
No.
and we're having some little disagreements.
So wait, is this little kids makeup?
Yes.
I want to go with red lipstick and the big
It's
one.
little kids makeup, but
play makeup.
but it's the way she come in the room like.
Zach,
Look at it.
I know what you're talking about.
I'm just like, I don't like it. I don't like
Zach is
it.
like, no.
Shy, like it's a phase. Just let her go through it. No, it ain't.
This is a kid.
Hey.
Let all those fight bigger fights.
Ooh.
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
I'm glad we don't got two girls, man.
I had two girls.
He's
Okay.
struggling with it, but I'm really happy that we were able to sit down, drink some good drinks, talk about fatherhood, and chop it up.
Absolutely.
And thank you, Zach, for coming on this week's episodes with us. We really
pleasure.
appreciate it. And you guys, next week we're back with 2 more episodes, a whole new dish or drinks, and
Shit.
a new
I might be back on, baby.
A whole new dish.
I might be back. What the hell is that?
What are you
Yeah, see,
doing?
that's the question.
That ain't no squash. What the?
It is a squash.
That's a squash?
Who knows what it is?
A yellow squash.
It's a.
No, that's something.
Come on.
Hollow
You close.
squash? What?
No, spaghetti squash.
Spaghetti squash. Okay, I'm like, it looked like a
Is
squash.
that what you want to make?
I'm gonna make a dish out of this that'll blow you out.
Okay.
Blow you out.
I will be here. If y'all don't see me, I'm gonna be behind the camera.
No. And you know, initially you may say, taste it.
Alright guys, make sure you tune in next week so we can watch what he does with this spaghetti squash.
Anybody take a shot at what you think I'm gonna do with my spaghetti squash?
Who knows?
Drop it in the comments.
Don't
I'm gonna leave
forget
my
to
comment.
like, comment, subscribe, and help our channel
And help
grow.
our channel grow. Let me tell you
Grow
why it's
the
important. Let me
channel.
tell you guys why it's important for this channel to grow.
Why, Dad?
I'm
gems on this
62
channel.
years old. I'm trying to retire.
Get him there.
Okay.
Hey, I want him to retire.
Yeah.
I want him to go.
We actually really do need him to go.
So I need this channel to be successful so that I can gain a few more financial chips so I can get out of look, I'm off to Belize, I'm off to the East Cape, I'm off to some island to
He's
retire.
off somewhere.
Get him to believe.
Once he goes, Zach and I can continue to take over his business. So get out of here, Dad.
Get me out of here. Alright, you guys, peace out. Say
All right,
all the
everybody.
things again. You know
I
what I'm saying?
appreciate y'all for
Yeah.
Yeah, close us out, Zach.
What I know how to say what?
Hit the button.
Oh yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Hit the squash out of that button.
There you go.
Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, z.terrell.
Pretty
You know,
Boy
I gotta get
Floyd
my-
3.
And Shy Not Shy. She's pretty shy sometimes, but
And I just want to say I'm very disappointed about the 6 people that defollowed me.
Okay, I'm done.